Okay, so let's take a look at how you can draw lollipop chart in Python using Matplotlib library. So first thing, I'm going to open terminal. Right here I'm going to install Matplotlib. So let me clear the console, move to another drive. Now here type in pip install Matplotlib. Okay, also we are running this code in Jupyter Lab, so you can type in Jupyter-lab. Right, once you have these two things installed, you can simply type in Jupyter notebook, or you can simply use Jupyter-lab server keyword. Right, so that should open a edge window within which we will be accessing Jupyter. Right, now we have two things that kind of fixed here. One, our Matplotlib library is installed, and also we got our Jupyter Lab running. Right, so we have to create a new notebook here in order to create a chart. Right, so click on this notebook option. Right, now here you will be finding option to use this particular line of code, and as you write, simply use enter. Right, so let's type in numpy as np and then import matplotlib.pyplot as plt. Next thing, we have value for x where np a range, then we have 2, 12 and 1 for that. Right, next value of y, which is going to be x raised to 2. Right, then we have figure axis and plt dot subplots. Right, now here we will be using ax dot stem, so the function name is stem. Right, so if I use x and y, so if I use x and y, right, and we simply use plt dot show, this should create a basic lollipop chart. Right, so if I run this, will take a bit of time and show error if there are any. Okay, there seems to be problem with spelling. Right, so it will point that out and run it. Okay, as you can see, the error related to it was the I was missing from Matplotlib. Right, so once we fix that, we got our lollipop chart. Right, so this is a basic chart. Our values of x and y are listed here. Right, so the thing is, we got this in a vertical orientation. We can also shift this. We can use this comma and then orientation set to horizontal. Right, and if I select all of this code and run it, it will shift the orientation. Right, so the next thing we can also do is we can add few more parameters, like say bottom set to 60. If we run this, let's see what happens. As you can see, this happens with bottom orientation horizontal with bottom value of 60. If we remove the orientation, it will continue to hold the bottom value 60, and now the orientation with vertical, the output will be something like this. I can also add some line color, so for that I'll have to type in line fmt set to, sorry, error happened because I accidentally tapped on shift enter. So here I will have to use black, So if I select all of this and run, right, so that should turn your lollipop chart into black. Right, so what we have done so far is we created the basic lollipop chart. We also changed the orientation to horizontal. We added the bottom value and we checked the output for both vertical and horizontal orientation. We changed color of these lines as well, right? We can also change line style, right? So for that we can use line FMT, and here I can use double dash. So if I run this, we have dash lines. Notice the color remains the same, right? Next thing, we can also use line style and color. For that we will use simply K into this. So if I run this piece of code, that will basically turn this into dark color with dash style, right? So when you're dealing with a marker like this, you can edit some of its properties. So what we have changed so far, we managed to change its color with line FMT parameter. We use line FMT with double dash to change our line into dash. Also used K letter for changing the color of lines along with dash, right? Then there is marker style, right, where marker formatting we will change. So marker FMT equals to, let's say, dr. So if I run this piece of code, we have red as our markers, right? So that's marker styling. So we managed to do both marker and line styling so far. There is also baseline customization, the line here that you see within Lollipop chart, right? So for that, what we'll do, we'll use this base FMT. Now here, if I want to do like dark, so I can use K and colon. Let's see if that works. Okay, so I will have to experiment with lowercase and see if that works, right? So if I use lowercase k along with this colon, it will add the dash, or see these seems to be like dots, so dots to our baseline. Okay, so by now you have got the idea how exactly lollipop chart can be customized. So basically these are the markers, these dots, then the lines that we customize with red color, black color, dash. We also managed to customize the baseline with the dash right now with base FMT, right? We also managed to change the marker colors, right? So these are some of the things that we have done with lollipop chart. Now the thing is, say if I want to plot with a group of values, right? So in that case, what I can do, I can additionally add x2 y2 values as well. So x2, so we'll use the same as above. So let's say x2 np range, then y2 equals to, let's say, minus of y, right? So let's make this sort of output purposefully. So if we use ax.stem function, so we have x, y, and then b, then markup fmt, we can set to bo. If you have any other option, you can go with it. You can also end this with your single quote, right? Then we have labels where you have group 1. Let's close the ax.stem for our xy values. Then we have x2, y2, then we have like g value, then marker fmt set to go, right? Then label equals to group 2, and we are closing the function, right? So if we run this, let's try to find out the plot by group option. We also add this ax.legend option, right? So if we run this, it should give you the legend for group 1, group 2 values, group 1 being our xy values, group 2 being our x2 y2 values, right? And the reason I use this marker fmt to change the color of our marker, right? BO for this blue and GO for green, right? Along with respective labels group 1, group 2. And notice that our y2 is minus y, so it will go down for that, right? And you'll be seeing this plot by group in case of your lollipop chart. There are a few more things that we can look up for lollipop chart in Matplotlib.